feel like these glasses are gonna be extremely distracting because they're reflecting the window. Okay, yeah, they're coming off. I figure they kind of added to the adulting vibe we were going for, but you guys get the gist.
We were victims of the night, the chemical, physical, kryptonite. Help us do.
Hey guys, what's up, and welcome to the 24th day of October. For today's video, I am doing a video all about budgeting and saving money and basically learning how to be super frugal. And yeah, this is something that was never really fully explained or taught to me. And with doing research on better spending habits, better saving habits, and also just coming up with some ideas and habits on my own, I kind of came up with a system that I like to follow when it comes to saving my money and being a bit more of an adult. You know? Really quick, if you guys aren't following me already, be sure to check out my Twitter and my Instagram. I'll pop them up on the screen here. We're in the last week, which is deeply upsetting. But that said, there's still quite a few more videos to go. So definitely subscribe and hit the notification bell if you haven't already. And other than that, let's jump into these money saving tips. So first things first, when it comes to saving your money, I like to follow kind of like a minimalist budget. It's just like a really simple breakdown of how to take your income and where it should all be going. So obviously the first thing you need to do is figure out how much money are you making on a monthly basis. That is your beginning point, that is your starter, that is where it all begins. From there, ideally you want to map out all of the things that are musts and essentials. Now only you can decide kind of what is an essential versus what is, you know, a luxury. To some, cell phones might be a luxury, to others it might be an essential. For some, a gym membership might be a luxury, to others it might be an essential. So ideally you want to be spending about 50% of your income on your essentials, which sounds like a lot, but when you think about it, what actually is all included in this, i.e. your rent, or however much it costs you for housing, food and groceries to survive, bills like utilities or cell phones or car bills, whether you have to buy bus passes or, you know, train tokens, whatever it is, you have to kind of come up with what are the things that are essential for your day-to-day living. This is also where you can get creative, you know, bringing down your cell phone bill by changing your plan, coming up with a meal plan so that you have like a set grocery list which saves you money. You can even use apps to help with this, like Checkout 51 is the one that I use when it comes to couponing in Canada. It gives you a bunch of coupons to go to grocery stores, so you can use apps like that too, which will also bring down your costs. And when it comes to your essentials, you always want to make your essentials 50% or less. And if you have to make adjustments to your day-to-day living, become accustomed to 50% of your monthly intake, then it's gonna hurt, but start making the cuts. Also, really important random tip too is to set aside a day or create automatic payments when it comes to your bills. That way you're never forgetting, you're never falling behind, and it saves your credit for the future. Another tip that I had to learn the hard way. Next, when it comes to budgeting, is to try and take 20 or more percent and put it into your savings. Now this should only be done after your essentials. You should never put 20% of your savings away before you've paid your bills, you've paid your rent, you've done all the things that are essential to your day-to-day living. Only after that's done should you try and take 20% of your income and put it towards your savings. You could be saving up for retirement, you know, you could be saving up for a car, you could be saving up to buy property or buy a condo, you could even just be saving up for a trip, a new camera, or, you know, a makeup product that you really want to get. If you're younger and you don't have bills and all of that stuff yet, you could even just be putting 20% of your part-time job wages away to go on a trip somewhere at the end of high school. Or if you're a little bit older and you have rent or you're in college, you can still try and put 20% away for savings after college or for paying off any school debt you might have. In the long run, if you're saving 20% or more, you're just going to thank yourself later when you're buying a house earlier in life than you thought, or you're retiring in Hawaii. And the last category when it comes to budgeting yourself is personal expenses. And for this, it's always best to shoot for 30% or less. This part of your budget is what's going to make the most difference, because essentials are just that, they're essential. We need to pay those things to live. But when it comes to your personal spending, shrinking this down means putting more into your savings pile, which is in turn just going to make it better for your life later on. This is where you figure out what you want versus what you need and the things that you're willing to, you know, sacrifice or cut back on. For instance, there was a time in my life where I was buying a Starbucks drink every single morning. It is a ridiculously close walk to where I live, and every morning I would get up, walk Bentley to Starbucks, grab my drink, come back, and start my work for the day. And when I started to add it up, you know, like $6.50 a day on a latte versus the coffee that I can make from home, it was disgusting the amount of money I could have been saving had I just been making coffee at home the whole time. An important tip for this category too is to make sure that you're tracking your spending. Because our money is so electronic now, it can be so easy to be mindlessly spending and not even realizing it. Like when I was buying those coffees every every morning. Going out for food is also a really big one that you might not even realize how much money you're spending on that. Not to mention online shopping, another mindless task that you get wandering into at 2 a.m. and then suddenly you don't know how you spent all your spending money for the month in one night. There's an app you can get on your phone called Mint that helps you track all of your spending. It shows you where you're spending it. It helps you, see your pattern, or you can just use, a standard notebook. You can use the notes in your iPhone. And another huge tip that I do for this section that has helped me out the most is once I figure out how much money I have left after my essentials and my savings for the whole month, I see what I have left and I take it out in cash. This way I have physical cash on me. I'm not using my cards. My spending isn't mindless. And once that cash runs out, that's all I have for that month. Reverting to the old school ways of using cash is going to be the only way to keep you on par with your budget. I mean, maybe not for everyone, but I do know that for me, when I wasn't taking out what I had left over to spend, I was going way over 30% when it came to personal spending for the month. So definitely take it out in cash and keep track of every single personal item that you tend to spend, or just keep track of all of your expenses in general, including your bills and your rent. Be frugal, but don't be cheap. Be an adult, but still have fun. And there you have it. Those are the tips and tricks that I use when it comes to budgeting and being an adult when it comes to spending my money. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any tips that you want to add, be sure to pop them down below. And other than that, I love you guys to the moon and back. I hope you guys enjoyed this Adulting 101 video, and I will see you guys all in tomorrow's. Bye guys. Thinking about